Professionals serving community. Talkradio.nyc.
Ding, 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 ding. Special alert, special alert. Your boy is back. Tommy D's in the attic. Oh my God, it must be Friday morning. Philanthropy in Focus. Calm down, bro. Calm down. Just relax. Namaste. Namaste in the attic. Your boy, the one and only nonprofit sector connector. The show is Philanthropy in Focus. Your boy's Tommy D. I've been doing this for a bunch of weeks. I don't know, 180 weeks in a row or something like that. I think I think today I screwed something up last week telling Dr. Jeffrey Reynolds he was on episode 175. He was on episode 176. If my math is right, this would make this 177 on a plan of 5,000 shows. We're going to do 5,000. Why? Because I said it one day. I don't know why. I don't know why I decided to do 60 days of service. People will go, well, I know why I decided to do the days of service, but people say, why 60? I go, I don't know, man. I just said it. And then my younger son said to me, Dad, we got to do 100 days of service. So that will be in the wings. We're waiting, figuring it out. I mean, I stopped counting all the stuff I'm out there doing, connecting, making nonprofits, really putting that spotlight, as I like to say, on nonprofits, giving them the opportunity to connect with others in my network. And I'll tell you the truth, my guest today would not be here. And it's funny because I've driven past Randy Bynum's office only thousands of times. Shout out to Roosevelt Field Mall. You know, I grew up going to Roosevelt Field, grew up in Franklin Square, not too far. And that was our mall where we would hang out. And now my children go to that mall a little bit, which is just kind of crazy how that happens. A little bit of like the mall rats running around, you know. But I would say if it wasn't for my relationships, if it wasn't for my connections, if it wasn't for people looking out, I wouldn't have as many people coming on this show. Yes, I know a lot of people, but the people that I know more people and more people and more people, and the ripple goes on and on and on. So first of all, Randy, because I'm going to rant about a bunch of things really quick, I want to say good morning, Randy Bynum, Girl Scouts of Nassau County. What's going on? Good morning, my friend.
Good morning. Good morning. We love the mall and we love being here in Nassau County. And I appreciate all the work you're doing to connect all of us. It's really important to have a strong network.
I love it. I love it. I listen, you know, not to be self-deprecating, but I say, listen, if without my social capital, I don't have a lot. I got great hair. I have an incredible personality. I have a lot of friends. And I guess I have a lot of stuff either way. But it's my social capital that is super important because it's the people we know and the relationships we have. This all leads up for me to say, shout out Mike Mannix. I only know you like 7 or 8 months, bro. But now we've had some breakfast together. You've come to some events of ours. You were a speaker at one of my ventures, the Philanthropy Network of New York. Mike was a speaker. In fact, the keynote at our, actually not the keynote, but the closer, the guy, you know, he's like Mario, I hate to say it, I'm a Met fan, but like Mariano Rivera, or our guy with the trumpets. If you're a Met fan, shout out to all my Met fans. With the trumpets at the end of the game when Edwin Diaz comes in. So let's just say Mike Mannix was like Diaz. We'll say that. Mannix, I owe you a trumpet solo. We'll figure that out later on. But Mike Mannix,
The best.
great guy. And he said, we were having breakfast. We were together one night, Mike and I was like, you know, dude, these 20 to 30 minute meetings that people have, I think they're great, like for certain things. But if it's a get to know you meeting, like I want to help you, you want to help me, let's get to that point. For us to meet for 30 minutes and then 2 weeks from now meet for another 30 minutes in 2 weeks, it's like we got to restart. So I say, Mannix, what do you think of this? It's like a 90-minute session. Like you get together and you just kind of shoot the breeze together, figure out. And out of that came some quality introductions. And one of those quality introductions from Mike to Tommy D, yes, third person, to me, is his introduction to Randy. And I know Tammy Severino from Girl Scouts of Suffolk County has been on the show, so I know I'm familiar with the organization. My friend Nyrekia White, who has now moved from Girl Scouts of Suffolk County. Shout out Nye White if you're listening. I know you all a lot of time you are. So So Nairiki is now at Long Island Children's Museum, and I think, did I see a picture the other day with you with the folks at
Yeah, we're all friends and family. They were all trying to work towards the same mission or similar missions, overlapping goals that in Long Island on Long Island. So Tammy, Erica at Long Island Children's Museum, Nairika, they're all, Mike, we're just all trying to do good work.
I love it. I love it. I was talking about Nairiki a couple weeks ago on the show. Who remembers why? Oh, Neela was here from EAC Network. Probably why.
Yeah.
So when Neela was on the show, I met Nairikia originally through Girls Inc. of Long Island, right? Because Renee Daniel Flagler,
Renee.
I'm sure Renee's a friend of yours too. Shout out Renee. But I had met them together, like when Nairikia was at LI, Girls Inc. of Long Island. So many connections, so many relationships. Gang, listen, you know what this show is all about. It's about helping nonprofits tell their stories, and I like to say helping them amplify their mission. What does that mean? Well, I know a couple people, and I like to tell people stories. And this show now, as I think the math is right, has been on for 177 episodes because awesome. There's a lot of freaking nonprofits, man, and they're doing incredible work. And like when Dr. Jeff Reynolds was here last week, I said, man, it's if it's not for organizations like ours in this sector doing the work doesn't get done. Like, I really believe that. Like, that's not like there's no one. There would just be a void in the system of the services that are needed that are not being provided. So shout out to my people in the nonprofit sector, whether you work in a nonprofit, sit on the board of an organization, volunteer, want to found an organization. If you want to found an organization, reach out to one of us. Let's talk before you do that. There's a lot of organizations.
A lot of work.
What you want to do, there's probably somewhere your program can fit into your idea before you found your own nonprofit organization.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, but that being said, there might be one or two things new under the sun. But I think a lot of things would be very complimentary. So anyway, I'm on a tangent, which is where I live. All right. Randy, the way the show works is I warned you, man, and any
you
of your
did tell me.
friends could have told you how this was going to go, and you're still here. So
I'm still here.
You must trust the game, trust the and the game. All right, here's the deal. I want to know about you. The people want to know about you, your background. I'm looking at my notes. I see Sesame Street. I mean, first of all, that I did not know that. So take us back. I was with somebody last week, like. There was a show on A&E, used to be called Biography, and I can't find the show anymore, and I don't even know where to find A&E anymore. You don't need to because everything's on YouTube. But the story, the backstory, the genesis story, right? I love that. Like because when we talked earlier in the week on our quick call, I said, there's usually a catalyst. There's something that happens in someone's life that says, I want to go in this direction. Mission is important to me. Impact is important to me. I want to plug into that world. So I'm sure there's something like that with you. So please introduce yourself. Tell us your story. I'll interrupt you with questions throughout, and we'll have fun together. Take it away, please.
Yeah, I love that. Because I actually, in the position that I'm in right now, want to be that person that makes that pivotal moment for a young person. And I think of the experiences that I had growing up. I grew up in a very creative, joyful family. I had probably a pretty charmed childhood, and I learned at a pretty young age in high school that not everybody had the same experience I had. So not everybody's homes were happy or safe. And from that moment, I made it my mission to really hope that all children have the opportunity to have a childhood like I did, right? Being exposed to so many things, being able to try things, make mistakes, be protected, learn about cultures and places and music and art. I mean, I just had such a happy youth, and I didn't know, because I lived, I guess, kind of in a bubble. I just didn't know that there were kids in unsafe homes or children that were, didn't have food or shelter or adults to protect them. And so I went on to kind of my educational path was to become a social worker. And I spent the first part of my career working with children in crisis. So whether they were in foster care, they were homeless, domestic violence, runaways, all the bad things that could happen to young people. And what I found was that I wasn't making a big enough impact one child at a time. And by the time that child got to me, the repair was so huge, and the red tape was very, very tough. And so I kind of rethought my career path and decided that I wanted to do more preventative work. Hence Girl Scouts, Sesame Street, Scholastic books, really making sure that I was feeding children the love and opportunity and creativity and fun and joy at a really early age through educational materials, and making sure that the adults that were with them got the support that they needed to provide those experiences for them. And so my career has been dedicated to kind of those three things, making sure children have access to materials that will uplift and empower them, bring them joy and creativity, making sure that adults have the support and resources that they need to protect and guide those children. And then finally connecting communities and organizations, kind of what you're doing, right? Is networking to make sure that good people were connected, good organizations were connected to come to be able to have the best results.
Yeah, I took like a page of notes while you were talking. Like I'm totally engaged in this. At the same time, I'm like, oh my God, I got to write all this down. This is super important. So, so I was listening with my head down writing.
Right. No, go ahead.
Here's what I want to go through with this.
Right.
Because I want to bounce around in what you're talking about there, because access to materials obviously critical. Community connections obviously critical, and then there's that piece in the middle I wrote down as number two, the adults and giving them the support they need. So I want to talk about that a little bit. My wife and I are raising 4 children, and they're our children. I don't know why I say it that way, where it sounds like sometimes like I go, we're raising 4. Yes, we're raising our 4 children.
Not just random ones.
Well, look, man, we got a lot to look to give, man. So we'd raise some random ones too. But it's funny we said that, you and I, just now, because isn't that really like it takes a village? That's what they used to say. It's about community. I will tell you, there are many times when there are 14 boys in my backyard and 19 or 20 bicycles in my front yard. Like, so there's a lot of community going on over here. And I like being at that house because it means I know where my gang is. And, and when
I was that house, I was in that house.
And when I got a bunch of 13-year-old boys, giving me high fives, calling me Tommy D, it kind of is an ego booster, and I kind of dig it. So it's all good. But I want to say, just my wife and I are raising our children. However, I've heard this many times before. You didn't come with a user's manual, or there was no rules. And Dr. Spock, not the one from Star Trek, but like there was another doctor.
The first one.
Yeah, it was like about like raising kids and stuff. And I guess my question to you is, I see a lot of resources, whether it be, children who are having behavioral issues, children with emotional issues, children who are not having any issues, but are just children. And I'd love to learn a little bit about the resources you've seen out there for adult families to really plug into. And I'll tell you, I'll kind of put a cherry on the top for you. I just had a discussion like 17 minutes ago with my wife about somebody asking for more screen time, because we got the screen time on lock, so it's like, and it is like a monotonous always conversation. I need more screen time. I need more Snap. I need more that. And it's like, it's too much. So I wonder, from a Girl Scouts perspective, or just as a social worker in all your years of experience, if we could speak to a little bit about that, about resources for families and parents.
Yeah. I mean, I think obviously I would love to put Girl Scouts of Nassau County at the top of that list. But we only do what we do because of other amazing nonprofits in Long Island. So, a lot of Nassau County departments of Health and Human Services, Mental Health Services, Family Children's Association. There's a lot of really good organizations out there doing that work. And our job is to be that connector for Girl Scouts and their families, and make sure that we're sending them to kind of the experts that they need based on what support they need.
Yeah, I love that, man, because, Randy, that's collaboration at its finest, right? Like, look, we're in here, we'll get you this far, and then we have a partner who's going to take the ball. And
Exactly.
And that's the thing about, like, well, and especially, look, our island might be long, right? But and it is big, but there are pockets and communities and all this kind of stuff. It's, to me, it's just so important that everyone, to some extent, knows everyone else. I have to say some things before we go to break. Just like, I was just putting the finishing touches with a colleague of mine, Jamie Rosen, who is the co-chair at the Mental Health Association at the Nassau County Bar Association, and the aforementioned Neela from EAC Network, Yolanda from Options for Community Living, and Dr. Larry Grubler from TSINY will be my panelists on September 9th over at the Nassau County Bar Association, talking about the resources their organizations provide to an audience full of attorneys who are going to, at times, have needs for their clients.
Yeah.
That's to me, and I wrote a quote or something like I put up on LinkedIn, and I said, like, we can't know it all, but we have to know where to go to get the other stuff.
Exactly.
All right, so we're inside of our little swim lane, kind of. And I'm not real good at staying in my swim lane. Even I'm not even good at staying on time for breaks, apparently, because we were supposed to take one 2 minutes ago. But I feel like it's that level of collab and things like that we all need to know. So
I'd love to talk more about that.
I want to talk more about that when we come back, because I think it's critically important, especially for some of our younger leaders of nonprofits who may or may not have already been out there networking and building their community around them. I have a website. It's talking about alums of Girl Scouts. I'll drop a bunch of names when we come back just to tell you who all is in this organization. You can tell me, Randy, obviously some others. When we come back, we're going to get into more of your background, the work you're doing, and obviously the impact Girl Scouts in Nassau County is doing. Are you having fun so far?
I love it. Great.
Ooh, all right. We'll go to a break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant, and on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, Thursdays, 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a high-achieving, growth-oriented leader? Are you interested in developing your authentic leadership while creating a healthy, inclusive workplace? Hi, I'm Dr. Mira Brancu, host of The Hard Skills on talkradio.nyc at 5 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays, where we discuss how leaders develop the hard skills needed to make a greater impact. We interview experts, have live coaching, and tackle these challenges. Listen to The Hard Skills on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a business owner? Do you want to be a business owner? Do you work with business owners? Hi, I'm Stephen Fry, your small and medium-sized business or SMB guy, and I'm the host of the new show, Always Friday. While I love to have fun on my show, we take those Friday feelings of freedom and clarity to discuss popular topics on the minds of SMBs today. Please join me and my various special guests on Friday at 11 a.m. on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC. Uplift, educate, empower.
Nonprofits need connections to move in good directions. So cut through all the static. Join Tommy in his attic.
Right. Up through the static. Join your boy in the attic. All right, here it is. I didn't know where to start, but I'm going to start with Mariah Carey, Queen Latifah, Madonna, Carrie Underwood, Condoleezza Rice, former Secretary of State, First Lady, current First Lady Jill Biden, former First Lady Laura Bush, Hillary Clinton, Nikki Haley. Let's move over to astronauts. I don't know many of these astronauts' names, so let's just shout outs to Eileen Collins, Jan Davis, Anna Fisher. I saw some comedians on here. These are all women who have come through the Girl Scouts system. Amy Poehler, shout out Amy Poehler, Lucille Ball, Gwyneth Paltrow on the actors, and Carrie Fisher, Star Wars, right? Yep. So, I mean, so many writers.
Me? You didn't name me.
Randy Bynum, CEO of Girl Scouts of Nassau County. I mean, it's just, I have two daughters, and they were, I guess, daisies. They didn't continue with the Girl Scouts. And shout out again to Girls Inc. of Long Island, because I see, strong, smart, and bold, and the work that Girl Scouts is doing. And it's empowering these girls and young women really to give them a baseline, a foundation, the fundamentals, right, that are going to serve them to be successful women in the future, right?
100%. I'm a third generation Girl Scout. I keep a picture of my mom's troop on my desk.
Not right.
It was really important to my upbringing. It was through Girl Scouts that I found my voice. It was through Girl Scouts that I learned that I was a helper. But I look at our 12,000 girls here in Nassau County and their families and the impact that they make every day, and collectively the change that they're making towards our mission and promise of making the world a better place.
Yeah.
This work is, for Girl Scouts in Nassau County, we've been here for over 100 years. And so we've helped build this county, and we hold it up in the community service projects that our girls do, the sustainable change that they're making, but also through their own just individual growth. You mentioned something before about like just having the opportunity to explore. And I think one of the best things about Girl Scouts is that it's a space where you can pretty much try anything to help you kind of discover who you are, right? So you may want to be an architect, or maybe you want to be a physicist, or maybe you want to be a chef, and you can have all those experiences in Girl Scouts and kind of meet women and other adults that are experts in those fields, and just kind of examine the world in a way that I don't think I had the opportunity to do as a young person. I think that one of the things that makes us such a legacy organization is just that we change with the times, right? So I remember, learning about helping other people and, even some social work as a young girl, but no one ever came and told me about, being a speech therapist or an architect or even a chef, right? I didn't know that those were, careers and had its own path. And so that's something that I'm really proud of that we do here, is if a Girl Scout expresses interest in an area, we try to find those, connectors for her to really learn and grow and make some decisions. And I've met some amazing alum that we have here in our county that, attribute some of their early leadership experiences to Girl Scouts of Nassau County. Ooh, Tommy, you're on mute.
Mute on my own show. That leadership thing, I want to touch upon, but I want to stay on the track where you were going with access to adult professionals, or professional might be the wrong word, but just adults in career, right?
Yep.
I want to understand that, because is that a program, or is it more of a response to, hey, you know what I always wanted to do, Randy?
It's a little bit of both. It's in our DNA, right? So if you think about, from your youth and maybe even your daughters, all our girls have on their uniform and they earn badges. And so typically on the front of their uniforms are badges, which are really, symbols of proficiency, right? So you've picked a topic, you've learned about it, you've explored about it, you've figured out how to make impact in your community around that topic or area. Or skill, and you get an honor for that. And then on the back of their uniforms are their patches, which are from experiences. So you visited the local dentist's office, or you explored something at the Feinstein Institute. And so all those things come together to kind of help piecemeal who you are. And through that journey, you're meeting lots of different adults with lots of different life experiences and career paths, and all that feeds into who you kind of figure out you're going to become.
So I got a really important question, and I think most of my questions are important, to be honest with you, Ms. Bynum. But this one in particular, because I'm thinking I did mention, so my girls are 11 and 14. My boys are 9 and 13. Yes, it's wild over here. But my question is, my younger daughter, she could still plug in the Girl Scouts, and at the 14, what is that? Because I don't actually know.
You can jump in wherever you want at whatever age. We serve from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. And so, obviously, maybe not obviously, but at the older ages, the number kind of slims down a little bit of participants. But the Girl Scouts that do stay through 12th grade go on to, you know, earn the Gold Award, to make change in their communities, to be on our board, to, you know, being staff or working in other local nonprofits or businesses to really help kind of continue the impact that they're having on Nassau County. But our littlest ones, you know, are around 5 and 6 years old. But we have folks that join, especially during the pandemic. We had folks joining just because there was such a disconnect. There was such a feeling of isolation for young people, for all of us, but for kids specifically. And so one of the things that was really great was during the pandemic to see families choose Girl Scouts that may not have had the flexibility or opportunity to do it in its traditional form. And, you know, the opportunity to get your kid on Zoom and learn something from their, you know, dining room. I did a baking segment during the pandemic.
Are you a baker?
Hmm?
Are you a baker?
I am a baker, yes.
Oh, we gotta make that.
That is my stress reliever.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I like to eat baked goods, so we're gonna.
Well, I will make sure to keep you in mind. But
Right.
I think, you know, one of the things, like during the pandemic, we had a marine biologist in Florida in her lab on Zoom, and that was something that we probably wouldn't even consider doing before. And so we had such new experiences and different connections.
One of the silver linings, you know, one of the silver linings of that era,
Yeah.
which I can't believe was so many years ago at this point. You know, like it really, I'm like, wow. You know, and sometimes I go, did we really live through that? And then I realized it was in my attic for 2 years in a row. Attic, and I remember that's how it definitely happened. But even that piece, like the marine biologist in Florida, right? Not that wasn't available to put everybody on Zoom, but there was like no mechanism, not a mechanism, but a need. There was no catalyst to say,
It was not just right. There was no reason to even think of that, right?
Right. Yeah. So it opened up these opportunities where we are, you know, so interconnected globally. I mean, with my business, you know, we own an employee benefits agency, Vanguard Benefits, and we had thought of ourselves as a, you know, New York, maybe some PA, Pennsylvania, maybe some New Jersey, but really we think of ourselves as a company that can really be national for the sheer fact that there's no reason not to. You know, my clients that are here on Long Island, you know, for the most part, they don't even invite us in when we're doing an open enrollment meeting. We do it here on Zoom. And that's kind of how it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a silver lining. I mean, imagine if we have a girl that goes on to be a marine biologist because of that one little experience.
That's what
and maybe she, you know, she solves some major health, I don't know, fish. I'm not sure with fish.
she's gonna be digging what she's doing either way. But the thing about it is that's like the access point. Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right? What's the trajectory of this? We're making this up, but this young girl's life when she becomes, you know, a marine biologist and, you know, saves the manatees or helps, you know, like shout out, there's this group that out on Long Island, I got to look them up. They're in Riverhead. It's not the aquarium, but I had them on my show a long time ago, and they save these big old like turtles. Like I'm talking like big, like they're probably like I don't even know, like I'll say the size of a car because I have no background in this, so I'll just say they're like the size of a little car. You know, yeah, big old turtles. But like they have to help these turtles like get back in the water because it's turtle rescue. It's like Riverhead Turtle Rescue. We'll get it during the break for you. I don't have any production people that do the work, so I go to Google like during to get the edge. But so there's that exposure point that this young person
right, and that's what we've been doing throughout history. You know, our founder Julia Gordon Lowe really saw an opportunity, and I love to quote that for all girls, you know, of the nation. And so to give all girls access to everything that we have to offer and all the resources and experiences. And what I would say is kind of our secret sauce is also the friendships that come out of that. The lifetime friendships that come through participating in the Girl Scout program.
So I want to ask you two things when we come back. Pause, time out, flag on the play. New York Marine Rescue Center, gang. That's the one I found it so fast. nymarinerescue.org. And they have, now I got to get involved with this. Now I don't drink alcohol, but they have a turtle crawl on Saturday, September 7th from 1 to 6 p.m. at various breweries around Riverhead. I might just take my dog Cheeto and just go do the turtle.
Walk around looking for turtles.
Yeah, I might just do that. Gang, I love to talk about that. Here's what I want to talk about, Randy. Leadership. You say, these girls grow into leadership. So I'd like to understand some things programmatically in the organization when we come back from the break.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to use this word, and it might be the wrong word, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But like the sorority of the Girl Scouts, right? Because I think in terms of I went to Chaminade High School here on Long Island, and to be honest with you, I don't really tap into the relationships and the network that certainly is there. Somebody, I've spoken to a couple of young people recently who are just graduating from college, and I say the first thing is, gang, plug into alumni, plug into community, plug in, because there's this automatic. I think, look, my feelings on life, and maybe I'm, this kind of like short-haired hippie, but like my deal is like we're all supposed to be helping each other, right? And much love, a lot of hugs, the whole deal. And maybe there's even more camaraderie when we have that basic connect for things like we went to college in the same place or the same, or we were in Girl Scouts. Even I was in, Kutztown, Pennsylvania, but I was a Girl Scout, and you were you were a Girl Scout. We never knew each other, but we were both Girl Scouts, right?
Yep.
And
that sisterhood, that bond is for life. Yeah.
All right, so we'll call it sisterhood. So I want to talk about leadership and the sisterhood. And when we come back, also, we're always going to get into what's coming up. What do you need? What would the team say? Randy, you were supposed to talk about that on Tommy. What would those things be about? Because I don't want to get me or you in trouble. I don't work for nobody, but
you know how this works, right?
I've been through this a little bit, even before the show. I've done a little bit of stuff. But the thing is, like, I don't work for nobody, but I still get in trouble. So I don't want to get in trouble with your team because I think they'll be my friends. All right, let's take a quick break. Randy Bynum, CEO, Girl Scouts in Nassau County, is my guest. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody, it's Tommy D, the nonprofit sector connector, coming at you from my attic. Each week here on talkradio.nyc, I host the program Philanthropy and Phocus. Nonprofits impact us each and every day, and it's my focus to help them amplify their message and tell their story. Listen each week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on talkradio.nyc.
Were you an essential worker during the pandemic? If you needed to learn stages of epilepsy, did you depend on advocates? Did you use new innovations to cope with mental and neurological issues? Maintaining high quality of life and keeping good mental health are what we all strive for. I'm Frank R. Harrison, host of Frank About Health, and each week top healthcare influencers, professionals, and innovators answer these questions and more. Stay tuned on Thursdays at 5 p.m. on talkradio.nyc, and I will continue to be frank about health with all of you.
Are you a business owner? Do you want to be a business owner? Do you work with business owners? Hi, I'm Stephen Fry, your small and medium-sized business or SMB guy, and I'm the host of the new show, Always Friday. While I love to have fun on my show, we take those Friday feelings of freedom and clarity to discuss popular topics on the minds of SMBs today. Please join me and my various special guests on Friday at 11 a.m. on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC at www.talkradio.nyc. Now broadcasting 24 hours a day.
Nonprofits need connections to move in good directions. So cut through all the static. Join Tommy in his attic.
Episodes 1 through 27, I would kind of threaten my guests and say, "Hey, you have to sing my theme song with me."
Oh,
And I haven't done it in years, but
okay, good.
no, I won't do it to you unless you're a singer. But nonprofits need connections. That's how it goes. At least
I'd be stuck in my head like Cars for Kids.
that's. You know what? I would like it to be as big as Cars for Kids. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? There's one. There's an old. There's a law firm here in New York, Celino and Barnes. Although it's not
They
Celino.
broke up.
They broke up, and then one of them, I think, tragically died in a plane crash. Right. But it was a Celino firm and a Barnes firm. But now it's like the Barnes firm, cha 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 cha. And I remember the Celino and Barnes song from 06.
Forever.
Right? So it's just funny. You know what? I have to flood the marketplace with the Philanthropy and Focus theme song so everyone knows it. You know,
Love it.
a good friend of mine, Yolanda Rabano Gross, over at Options for Community Living, she loves this song. She's like, I got to hear your song. I want to come back on the show. I want to be in the attic. You know, like, oh, it's just it's fun. It's become a cool phenomenon. So I was sharing the website while we went to break. The website, if you're listening alone and not watching, is gsnc.org. gsnc.org, as in Girl Scouts of Nassau County. So check that out. So Randy, talk to me. I want to hear about programs. I want to hear about all the important stuff that we need to teach people about the organization. However, we can maybe weave that through the lens of leadership and sisterhood. So like maybe we could talk about programming and how it affects them.
Yeah, I would say thank you for sharing our website, and that's the place where if you want to become a member, you can click on and join. If you want to volunteer, you can click through and join, and if you want to donate or support, you can click through and join. But it's also a place where families can kind of explore all the activities that we have going on. Some of the things that just happened recently is we just finished a season of flag football. We did an Olympics event with athletes at Adelphi University. Of course, we celebrated S'mores Day this weekend because
I did not know it was S'mores
what
Day.
is a Girl Scout without a s'more?
Oh,
And we just wrapped up our 6-week summer camp program out at Camp Blue Bay.
where's that?
It's in East Hampton. As you can see, we have a scenic 179 acres in East Hampton, and it's a wonderful place. We have an amazing waterfront program there. And we also offer weekend programs at Camp Blue Bay. But I think for Girl Scout programming, we offer, I would say, maybe 300 different programs throughout the year. And these are opportunities for girls to explore either individually with their troops or with their family members throughout the year. And it could be anything from science and technology, finance, health and wellness, arts and crafts. We have a new kind of sports thread that's going through, and of course our famous entrepreneurial program or our cookie program. But girls really have an opportunity to kind of pick and choose a la carte as to what experiences they want to participate in. And then in addition, most of the things that we do are backed by, research from our national organization. And so everything that a girl experiences kind of progresses as they get older. So the young ones are not making 100% of the decisions, but they may be voting on, we're going to do one of these 3 activities. And as the Girl Scouts get older to the high school age, they are planning the meetings, they are planning the activities, they are choosing the paths. And so it's really nice to see that growth and trajectory. And in my 7 years here as CEO, I've seen girls go from 5-year-old daisies to now, preteens and teens, and just really have this. And then, there's the blip of COVID. So we missed a couple of years in there of seeing them. And so really having the opportunity to see them grow and become strong young women and be decision makers and have a plan. This weekend at our S'mores Day, a young girl who actually I have her picture in my office, her name is Serenity, was I've known her since she was a little daisy at 5, and she came up to me and told me she's going to start working on her Bronze Award, and she's going to tackle food insecurity in Roosevelt, and she wants me to come to her, her open house of,
I want to be there, Randy. Serenity.
Yeah. I will make sure,
Hook me up, man. Let me.
But just to see this small little person that I initially knew becomes almost as tall as me, but also have like a business plan around doing community service and earning her first of the highest awards, the Bronze Award. And so I get to see, Sammy and Allie and Zoe all grow up and become these really strong young women that are making a difference. And then we also have young women that have gone onto our board, like Gabby and Caitlin. We try to keep, Carolyn, that we try to keep at least one high school Girl Scout on our board.
Your board of directors,
our board of directors, we try to keep at least one high school Girl Scout. one college age alum. And then right now, I think we have 3 other young professional alums on our board. And so for our young people to see that progression from being that little daisy to be a voting member on our board of directors is really, and in this 7-year stretch, I've gotten to see that trajectory. It's pretty and powerful. It's in your heart.
Yeah, I see. Obviously, you're digging it. It's your passion. You love it. Again, third gen, right? So it's really important to you to see all that. The thing that's like popping out for me is like, wow, like what is that little 5-year-old little girl if she doesn't get plugged into this organization in this community, right? Who turns 13 versus this other little girl who goes through the program and is empowered to make decisions, even if it's like 5 and 6 decisions on what we're do.
Exactly, which is why one of my core goals and missions throughout my tenure and moving forward is for us to expand access, is for us to really tell our story as many different ways as possible, so that other 5-year-old that didn't get into the Girl Scout program has information and access to us and to this amazing path. And we're doing that in a bunch of different ways. We have a traveling trefoil here, which is a big blue van that can really, it's outfitted, has trefoils all over it, the Girl Scout trefoil, and goes all over Nassau County, libraries, parks, playgrounds, and does Girl Scout programming. And so that's bringing Girl Scouts to girls in different communities versus asking them to come to us always. And we can do just about any Girl Scout program from that van.
So that sounds awesome. And one day we'll have to send out some Italian ices. Shout out to my dad, Ralph's Italian Ices in Huntington.
I love Ralph's.
Ask Enrique, we've done the ices and the whole thing. So
nice.
I'd love to, maybe they travel and in the trefoils we put like a cooler and you bring out ices. But I wanna just say to like speak to that whole thing because you're talking about access, right? And you want to expand access. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm reading between the lines here and saying these are maybe lower socioeconomic communities, right, that may not have the money to get the child to a program, right? So we're bringing programming to them. Is that accurate?
Yeah, so we do, I would say about 15-20% of our business is really in the community, partnering with other community organizations, bringing Girl Scouts to those, whether it's a church or a small community org, a local library where girls may not have the opportunity to be in what you might know from growing up as a traditional volunteer-led Girl Scout experience. And then we're also looking, we have this building here in Garden City, which is really an office building. And it's, we try to make it our conference rooms look fun and inviting to do, dance aerobics and chocolate engineering and all the things that we, mini Olympics, but we really are looking to expand to an additional physical space of a program center in the next year. So stay tuned. You'll have to have me back to talk about that.
Definitely. Don't you dare threaten me with a good time. I love average guests. So wait, so what is that? Name it again. What would you call that? Not a community.
A program center. So
there must be.
It looks like a really big space for girls to just cut loose and just run and play. Kind of like a giant multi-purpose room where we can do everything from theater to basketball to yoga to cooking to science. Have poetry readings or have a dance contest, and we do those things here now. But this is primarily an office building, and so we're looking to make
it work, but it'd be better to have the right back to do this stuff.
Yeah. So that's in our plan for over the next year.
So that's one of the things about this program, and one of the things about me is like, well, specifically where, how big, like what do you have that in mind about?
I have all the things. So we're hoping to announce have a little sneak peek at our fall fundraiser in November, and that's where we'll be kind of doing a kind of a intro to that plan with the goal of having a soft open probably at the end of 2025, early 2026.
All right. So exciting. So things that you will have to be sharing with me in the future. So you mentioned something about an event coming up. We're going to go to a quick break. Yep. I always bring the show to kind of a crescendo with what else do you need? What are you looking for? How can we help? What's upcoming? What would the development team say? You must make sure you talk about when you're on Tommy D's show, so he knows, so he and everybody knows. I'm giving everybody a hard time today. I'm feeling extra fun. So when we come back, let's talk about that. Let's talk about what's upcoming. What do you need? Are there specific people on the island that maybe you haven't been able to access and you want to access, and maybe me or my people know, and we can get you to that place? So we'll talk all about that. And we'll do all of that, which I'm taking a long time to explain in like 8 minutes. So when we come back, CEO Randy Bynum, Girl Scouts of Nassau County, your boy, the nonprofit sector connector. We'll be right back.
Are you a high-achieving, growth-oriented leader? Are you interested in developing your authentic leadership while creating a healthy, inclusive workplace? Hi, I'm Dr. Mira Broncu, host of The Hard Skills on talkradio.nyc at 5 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays, where we discuss how leaders develop the hard skills needed to make a greater impact. We interview experts, have live coaching, and tackle these challenges. Listen to The Hard Skills on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on talkradio.nyc.
Hey everybody, it's Tommy D, the nonprofit sector connector, coming at you from my attic. Each week here on talkradio.nyc, I host the program Philanthropy and Phocus. Nonprofits impact us each and every day, and it's my focus to help them amplify their message and tell their story. Listen each week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant, and on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, Thursdays, 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC at www.talkradio.nyc. Now broadcasting 24 hours a day.
Nonprofits need connections to move in good directions. So cut through all the static. Join Tommy in his attic.
That's right. True.
Oh, look what you have up there.
Got it. See, this is not my first rodeo, Randy Bynum. I've done this before. What do I have up there, Randy? Shout it out.
So this is our full fundraiser. We've been doing this for almost, I guess, 5 years now. It's the week before Thanksgiving, so it's an opportunity to kind of exhale before you jump into the holiday season with your family for the next 2 months. It's a great kind of casual event. We try to kind of island hop to different locations. So this is our I think we did one virtual. So I think this is our 4th location. We'll be at the Inn at New Hyde Park on the 21st of November. Wine tasting, music, friends, just a lot of just fun and laughter, but it's also where we'll be doing a couple of honoring a few of our volunteers that are that support us, other organizations that support us, and we'll also be doing our announcement about our expansion there.
Ooh, I got to be in the room that night at this special.
Yeah, bring some ices.
We'll work that out. We'll work it out. Actually, you know, I'll just pick up.
But I will say, so this is something we've done years. We usually do 2 signature events. We do this wine event in the fall, and then in March we do our legacy brunch. We do that in Old Bethpage at the Heritage House. But we're adding something new this year. So on September 15th,
Dr. Lindsay. So hold on one second. No, you can tell me, but Dr. Lindsay was your honoree.
Yes, last year our honoree was Dr. Lindsay, and then so we honor a legacy in Nassau County, and anyone that knows Dr. Lindsay knows what a legacy she is. But we also honor up and coming young folks that are making a difference. So you see our impact awards, and then right there, and then finally we had in March of 2020. We were doing a women's history event, and these 5 women were supposed to be honored literally the day the pandemic was declared. And so
Oh,
we finally had the opportunity this year to honor these amazing volunteers, supporters, leaders in the community.
I love that.
So it's a great brunch event that we do in March. Next year it will be on Girl Scouts' birthday on March 12th.
Oh,
And what I love is that I also do a conversation with someone. And so this past year, I got to talk with Joy Brown from Newsday. What a dynamic conversation and what a wonderful journalist to get to sit with so casually.
yeah.
So it's a great event. So
I
those
love
are the
that. So those are the two, but it sounds like it's a third. But I have
before
you tell me, I have a funny story to tell you.
Sure.
Shout out to Nairikia White. She asked me a bunch of years ago to be the MC at Little Flowers virtual event, right? So I'm MCing in the attic, like trying to like engage people in 4 different locations. It was very unusual. So as a follow-up to that, Nairikia had said, listen, I want you to play in our golf outing, this whole thing. So I'm playing with my buddy Brendan Levy, who actually is the singer of my theme song. He and I wrote that song, and he's singing it. But Brendan and I are playing in the golf outing, and Nairikia calls me a couple of days. She goes, hey, would you mind? I want to put Dr. Sandra Lindsay and her good friend in your foursome. And now Dr. Lindsay had never played golf. Dr. Lindsay, everybody, is the nurse who was the first person to get the vaccine in the country. And but the most cool lady, just like humble, down to earth, and
she has a book coming out actually.
I love it. I'll have to get her on the show. I'll talk about it. But and for me, it was like, I am not a very good golfer, Randy. However, right? But Dr. Lindsay had never played before, and neither had her friend. And Brendan is no better than I am. So we're like trying to teach other people how to play, but I have no right teaching people how to play. So it was just kind of a fun.
That must have been so much fun.
So fun, and I'm the only one, and Brendan, that can say that story happened, because nobody else got to play with Dr. Sandra Lindsay first time she played golf. Anyway, so we got the event coming up, which we just talked about in November. What you already have a date for you said May 12th is the legacy.
March 12th, 2025 will be our legacy brunch.
March 12th, 2025. The fall fundraiser is November 21st, 2024. All this stuff on the website. And then you said there's a third.
So super excited about our first Thin Mint Sprint.
Okay.
So, first of all, cool name, right? It's a 5K at Jones Beach on Sunday, September 15th, at Field 1. It's our first time doing it. We've already had such a tremendous response to it. There's also a family fun walk where you can do just about a mile with your kids. There'll be a lot of tabled activities. Jones Beach is jumping in. The Nature Center is jumping in. It's Girl Scouts Love State Park weekend. So what better place for Girl Scouts to be but at Jones Beach State Park, one of my favorite places on Long Island.
I grew up going to Jones Beach, man. The only killer about Jones Beach, because we ended up becoming like Lido and like Point Lookout people, is that walk.
Yeah, it is a walk. Well, fun fact, I was a ticket girl at Jones Beach in high school. So I was the one that would collect your parking ticket or your pool ticket at Jones Beach.
Where did you grow up? You grew up
here in Long Island, Nassau County and Freeport, yeah.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So but this is exciting. I will not be running, but I will walk the 5K. And I will have on very cute sneakers, but the funding for this goes into our family partnership campaign, which supports our financial assistance program, which allows girls to have more access to Girl Scouts.
So 2 things I want to hit upon while we're on this topic. First of all, obviously, if you ate too many Thin Mints, gang, it's good to go run it off. So I tell you, I'm a guy who likes to eat a lot of cookies. I know about cookies.
Right.
Are the classics, but we didn't even get into this yet.
No, we didn't talk about cookies.
Right? Samoas are always up there, but my favorite is eating an entire box of tagalongs.
Okay.
Love the peanut butter, man. You kind of like scrape the peanut butter. Anyway, whatever. You remember those old like peanut butter cup commercials, and they would show how like I have a certain way I eat but watch those days. But the thing about it is it's a good way to get out, do the family stuff. But really, how about money? What do you want? What are you trying to do here? What are you trying to raise?
Yeah, so we're raising money. It's a nominal. If you keep scrolling, you'll see that the fees are nominal. You probably have to click on one. But one of the things is great is that we're introducing Girl Scouts to the running community. We've got a great response from the running community. This is a kind of a timed race. So if you're a 5K-er, this is a great place to go. It's a nominal cost. You can also participate virtually.
Okay.
The 1 mile allows you to have your youngest kids participate. We have obviously cool swag that goes with it, a great Thin Mint medal, a Thin Mint t-shirt. We're up there raising money. We're always looking for sponsors. If you want to just do a quick, a small donation for a mile marker or a large donation to have your organization or company featured on all our materials. And then, of course, volunteers to do all sorts of things from check-in to cheering to activities with girls and families. And so we're getting a really good response to this, and I'm excited to have this be a debut year for our Thin Mint Sprint.
I love it. I've been saying, and I've been saying that this is the year I'm going to start like running 5Ks and stuff like that.
Me too. I've been saying that for many years.
Again, being the nonprofit sector connector, you can imagine I get invited to a lot of run walks, and stuff, right? But I'm usually hanging there politicking because I'm Tommy D, right? But you know what? Maybe sweaty Tommy D can politic after. Probably wouldn't kill the man.
I reason that similarly that my role is really there to be the ambassador to the event and make sure that people feel welcome and have a good sense of belonging. Instead, if I was running, I wouldn't be able to do that. So,
all right, my Uncle Buddy, I don't curse on the show, but my Uncle Buddy used to have this thing with his hands. He used to go, "That's the BS. That's the." I don't know, Randy Bynum. I'm not. It's a kid show. It's a family show, so we don't curse on the show. But I'm willing to pull nonsense like that myself.
There you go. I'm here to be the mayor of the Thin Mint Sprint. If I'm running, I'm not able to do that, but I do encourage families to come out. This is one of several of our family engagement activities throughout the year. It's an opportunity for everybody to do something good together. And I love what you're doing with your family and doing, counting service hours.
Oh yeah.
That's very, very much in line with what Girl Scouts and Girl Scout families do.
We're gonna do some cool stuff together. Again, this is I grew up in Franklin Square. You mentioned Freeport. I was on the mile last night for an event, so nautical mile, so the Broncos. So just this is our island, this is our county. I want to be a part of what you're doing. Mike Mannix, if it wasn't for Mike Mannix making this,
he's the best.
It's funny things though, Randy. We have so many people in common, but we've never connected,
No, we're gonna get you to some Girl Scout events.
You know what killed me this morning? I rummaged looking for something and I couldn't find it. So I'll do a video when I find it later on. But I got a shirt, and Irikia and Tammy had got me a shirt, and it's man enough to be.
Yeah, that's a great shirt.
I was going to wear it.
We really, we can't do any of this without our volunteers. And we do cherish the dads and uncles and grandpas that come out as much as we do the moms and aunties and grandmas that join. So we can't do any of the work we do without our amazing volunteers and my amazing staff and board.
I love it. I'll be there. I'm going to run. Then one last question. We're out of time, but you said you're going to have these really cute or cool shoes. What's the story with the sneakers? Can we know now?
I love sneakers.
Okay.
And so I try to mix it up. I have, so I'm looking for the right pair for the Thin Mint Sprint.
Like Nike, Adidas, like where do you?
I'm all over the map. As long as they're exclusive and cute.
All right. We're going to have some fun together. I dig it. Listen, Randy, thanks for being my new friend. I appreciate this. We're going to have a lot of fun. I want to be
awesome.
Me to dress up like a Thin Mint for the Thin Mint Sprint, I would probably say yes.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there.
We have a Thin Mint costume. I don't know that you know that, but we do.
You don't really know me. I would do it just for the hell of it. I would make a Thin Mint costume if you didn't have.
I might follow up on that.
We'll talk about that. Your team is like, what is going on? But either way, I think I'm going to figure out a way to run. It's like 29 days from now. I think I can run a freaking, like a 5K. I think Tommy D.
Well, I look forward to seeing you and all of the rest of the Nassau County community join us at Jones Beach.
Let us know how we can help. Make it a great day, everybody. Randy, thanks for being my new friend. Girl Scouts, Nassau County. See you later.
Thank you so much.
Nonprofits need connections to move in good directions. So cut through all the static. Join Tommy in his attic.